some players that did delay going on to a team because the team was so stacked at college, and they just thought they'd get better playing time and more prepared to go in as a as a freshman, the
Mhm.
next year. So they did delay it, and they did an over age year in juniors. Yours was not that, that year wasn't an overage year, right? 1920 wasn't an overage year, right?
No, 1920 wasn't. I'm actually at a weird, my birth date is at a weird
In
spot being,
June.
yeah, so I don't really have the option to do the overage year.
Okay.
If honestly, if that was an option, I'd tell you, I love playing in Fairbanks. I would have done, I would have done quite a few things to finish another season there. Um, I mean, even that last year, and we had a great team. We had made runs to the Robertson Cup the last two seasons before that, and I thought that my third year we had the definite capabilities of doing it again and maybe even taking it a step further and winning the cup. So uh, did kind of stink that that year ended and that was how the junior career came to a wrap. But a lot of guys were dealing with that at the same time. So um,
Right.
yeah, like I said, yeah, I'd do it all over again if I could.
Well, that plays into my next question. You went from school in Minnesota to play your junior hockey in Alaska. How did that come about?
Um, yeah, well, like I kind of touched on it earlier, but it was my junior year of high school. I was at St. Paul Academy, and we had a very great team there. Underperformed in a lot of big games, but the experience of playing in just Minnesota hockey in high school is honestly next to none. It's pretty. It's just sweet in general, but it was my junior year, and yeah, I think Fairbanks was down in Blaine, Minnesota, maybe for the showcase or for some other reason. Maybe they're playing the Magicians. I don't exactly remember the time frame. But they had invited, I think, two or three of the guys on my team out to practice with them, and I guess I did well enough that they wanted me to come back. And um, after my senior year, they offered me, I think, the last tender that they had before the draft, and then the rest is history. At that point, I fell in love with Fairbanks, and I really just thoroughly enjoyed my time there.
That's it. I mean, that you lead right into it. So it was a good team to be with and a good city to be a part of while you were there. Basically, that's it was just an ideal situation for you.
Yeah, I was at a point in my life where, um, growing up in St. Paul, St. Paul, Minneapolis itself is, kind of big city. There's a lot going on all the time, and you're just able to take a step back and, I guess enjoy the smaller things when you're up in Fairbanks. It's more of a tight knit community. Everyone kind of is loving the Ice Dogs. We're like, there's not any pro sports in town, so we're kind of like I guess the big dogs in a hockey sense, which is cool. But the fans were great. It's such a personal relationship you have with, pretty much the whole community and everyone that I guess knows what's going on. Um, the teammates that I've had over the last 3 years, I'm still my best friends, and there's, I wouldn't really give that up for anything. And then, that takes us to the coaching staff, and they know what they're doing, and if you work for them, they're going to work for you. And that's kind of how I got to where I'm at right now. So I'm pretty thankful for that. And just the whole opportunity in general.
Again, you were there for 3 years, so you obviously really liked it. A lot of kids don't spend all their time at one junior hockey team if they spend 3 years in junior hockey. And I really feel that you're going to find your space in the lineup at St. Cloud. Again, they had a great run this last year, unlike a run they've ever been able to stage. So I mean, I
Yeah.
think that that's just the beginning of good things for this hockey team, and that you're on this hockey team is pretty special.
Yeah, I'd
You
agree,
know?
man. Thank you. Thank you.
So, you're from St. Paul, Minnesota. Do you hate Vegas?
It might be a little bit too soon to touch on that subject, but